like narrowing everything down, simplifying, everything as much as possible, and you look how other teams play, what other teams that you might play, where their weaknesses might be. Obviously, I haven't looked at the standards in a very long time, so it's a completely different approach to the game for me, and it's not something that I want to get used to. It's not something that I'm comfortable with, and it's not what I play for. So understand the situation we're in, and understand why and everything, but that doesn't make it to me. Understanding something doesn't make it like okay or something that I want to leave by.
You've spoken before about your dedication to the city and to the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Having been through what you've just been through, does that change at all? And do you want to be a part of this going forward?
No, definitely not to the city. I mean, the city, if anything, they've been reassuring of everything that we've done over the years, right? You want to hear what now, knowing that Robert has full control again and that he's fully committed, not only to the team but also the city, which I think that's huge. The role that this team plays in the city, I think it's huge. So knowing that, like, you want to know, okay, what direction we headed, what you want out of this, like, what are you trying to, what kind of team you trying to put together, and what is your purpose, right? As a player, you want to know what your purpose is, and then you plan accordingly and try to know, okay, how can I make the vision that they have achievable, and what role do I play in all that? So obviously, I'm going to hear what he has to say, what they have to say, and how they want to go about it, and we'll go from there.
You have not heard, you don't have a clear sense of it. You think you'll get a sense of what their vision is going forward? You have not yet, is that?
I have not yet, but obviously I will,
Right.
I will hopefully soon.
Have you talked to Robert since this thing happened? Obviously now he's going to be the full-time owner going
Yeah,
forward. Have you talked to him?
Yeah.
And without giving us the details, what was the essence?
That we're going to meet soon.
You're going to meet soon.
Yeah, we're going to meet, soon, and obviously, all the questions that I might have, I'm going to ask him. I mean, we have a pretty honest relationship, and he's a straight shooter. He doesn't play around,
So that meeting will go a long way towards helping you figure out what your role might be going forward and how you feel about the franchise going forward.
Correct. I think that that takes place, right? You understand what is their team, so you understand what they want to do, and we'll go from there.
Do you want to hear essentially that they want to win? I mean, is that in order for you to be a part of it? Is that?
It's not so much about the result. It's like, are we willing to do everything possible to accomplish that? Obviously, winning, I could say, like, yeah, I want to win a championship in Memphis. There's a lot of things that got to go right for that to happen. I understand that, but the day-to-day stuff is huge, and I want to know how, what he has to say and how he feels, and I know he's a passionate guy. I know he might not be here much, but I know he follows every game, and he's a basketball fan, so he has his own idea of how to do things. So to me, I'm curious to see what how he dealt with this season as well.
It was out of your hands. What would happen? Are you happy that it happened because of your faith in him? I mean, you do have a good relationship with him. Are you?
I'm not so much about me. I'm more happy, because I know that he wants to keep the team in Memphis. That's what I'm mostly happy about. You're trying to remove yourself from situations. You don't want to. I tend not to think about myself in any of those things. I try to remove myself and see what's best, overall for everyone.
I'm sorry. You know him better than we do. You don't talk to him that much. Are you confident that he does want to? He said it in a statement. You are confident that he wants to keep the team in Memphis and he's devoted to Memphis.
That's the same message I got. So.
You haven't had the forward-looking conversation with him or the front office, I guess, yet.
Mm-hmm.
But you know the players coming off out of the season on this roster. You know that the hope is Mike Conley will come back fully healthy.
Mm-hmm.
You know the team will have a top 5 pick minimum. Do you think all of that, with you part of it too, presents a foundation to be competitive next season, or is there more you need to know about other things they might do?
It's just so much about what the goal is. I don't know how you accomplish that goal, and that's for other people to really speak about. But it's what are your goals as an owner and as a franchise, and what we're trying to accomplish in the next 3-4 years. And that's I think kind of like him. Buying those guys out and keeping the team here, it's kind of like a reset button, and you're trying to see, like, okay, what's ahead of us, and how can we accomplish it? To me, that's what it's about.
I know
Mark,
you suggested before you don't want to have roles and other decisions above you, but they have decisions to make about coaching, about front office. Do you want you and Mike, who have such tenure here, do you want to be able to give your opinions on how things have gone and impact those decisions?
One thing is opinion, and then is making a decision. They're gonna make the decision because that's it's their team. They ask you about opinions and what do you believe in. I think now over the years we've shown what what Mike and I are about, what the things that we believe in, and what kind of people we are. So I think they understand that. Sometimes you're gonna give an opinion that they might not agree with, and that's okay. And then they go about it and they tell you why, the reasonings and the arguments they might have. And that's it. But, obviously they can ask, and when they ask, we always give them our opinion. But it's all those conversations are behind closed doors and obviously private.
You're connected to the city
Mm-hmm.
incredibly. That's since high school.
Yeah.
But if you get an answer that you don't like, or if you get a sense that the vision isn't there, would you ask for a trade? Would you ask to change? Would you ask for something?
I don't know. I haven't put myself in that situation yet. Obviously, professionally, you don't know what might happen in your life, but obviously, Memphis is home. Like it's pretty simple. That's where my kids are. That's where I have my kid. That's where they go to school. That's where I've been here since high school. So you can't take Memphis from me. You might take the Grizzlies from me, but definitely you can't take Memphis.
Is there a part of you that would like to restore what you obviously you lost some of it? You said you're living on credit this year.
Yeah,
Would
correct.
you like to be part of restoring the bank? And I mean, you helped establish what these Grizzlies stood for.
That's what I try to accomplish all year. Obviously, it was I failed at that. Trying to make sure that everyone in that locker room understood how important, how much helping each other directly correlates to winning. So you might need more help on that.
Did you feel like you got hung out a little bit on the coaching thing? You took a lot of hits on that, and the organization was in a place where they couldn't really, or whatever. They weren't in a position to you took those hits. Did you feel that all hung out?
Like I said, it's irrelevant to me now. This situation, I think, like I said, we try to manage it as best as possible. Might not be the best way to manage it, but I think at the time that's how they decided to manage it. To me, you just keep playing basketball. You do your job the best you can. You represent the people that you have to represent. Whatever other people think, you can't control. And if you try to control what other people think, you're going to spend all the time and waste all the time, and eventually you won't control it anyway. So.
What do you think of JB?
He's done a tremendous job with the tools that he was given and what he was allowed to do. He's held the guys accountable as much as he could. He's been positive. He's coming to work every day. He had, through all the mess and situation, he's done a great job, to be honest.
Mark, are you at the point where you've started to look ahead and say, I think right now I want to play this many years, and I think I have this many years as a starter, an elite player, and you've seen somebody like Vince who's played a really long time in a different role. Have you started to work any of that out in your head for yourself yet?
I have the same desire and fear about me about I'm already obviously into off-season mode and like last season, last off-season, since this injury we planned really, we planned the work very methodically. And then we just worked that plan. So this year, I have the same desire about getting better. Already working on film, on the things, staying on the court, the many things I can improve on. Start working already on the weight room for the past 3 days on those things. So we already, to me, just that. It's not about 4, 5, 6 years. To me, that's irrelevant. It's how can I get better now to be in the best position possible come September.
Are you surprised that when you talked about the bank kind of being emptied out a little bit?
Yeah.
Are you surprised that it emptied out so quickly? Like you guys had built something for 7 or 8 years consistently, and it was pretty well evaporated, by January. Well,
Well,
how do you kind of?
you tend to go back, obviously, and the situations that are not ideal like this one and so frustrating, it's easy, to allow doubt to stay and you start okay, what's going on? But, you gotta be pretty strong-minded and kind of refocus on oh no, this is what we're doing right now. Just control the things you can control, because you let your mind wander in a frustrating time and just allow that to take over, you know, that can be very counterproductive for the situation and just makes things a lot harder. So, you know, obviously, I try to concentrate to the positives and the things that I could, you know, impact my teammates on the floor, and the things that brought joy and happiness to me outside the floor. I try to do as much of that as I could, and now obviously it's behind us.
Do you know
Marc,
Luka Doncic?
I know him.
What do you think of his game?
You know, very advanced for his age. You know, I think he actually beat us in the past Eurobasket. So yeah, I know. And he didn't get nervous. He started the game missing a couple shots, but you know, okay, this is not the game that I'm making shots. So he got to the paint and picked us apart. You know, with his size and his right hand, he kept hitting the open guy on the weak side after pick and rolls. Obviously, Powell was not, you know, he's not the best pick and roll defender. So that created a few issues on the back end. But yeah, I mean, Luka is a guy that rarely makes the wrong decision offensively, and so far advanced as far as decision making goes. So you know, he's somebody that also has a great passion for the game. I know that he's a gym rat because I know most of his teammates, and he loves to be in the gym, and so I know those things.
Is he athletic enough to play in this league? 6'6" in this league?
Well, he's so tall. Like his size, if like can make up for a lot of you know.
Pretty thick too, right?
Yeah, he's pretty wide for what it, you know, for what it seems. But obviously, you won't know those things till you know you have somebody here and you actually get to see him. Like we see guys that are super athletic that struggle in the NBA, and then we see guys, for example, like Ben Odry, who has great size but was able most of the time or sometimes to manage his lack of quickness. But because you know his IQ was you know pretty high.
So what do you have as a